So you may have seen in my other video that we got all of the Mustangs together. So in this video I just want to talk about kind of what it took to get them together and just talk about the story. It's really cool to have all these Mustangs, and we can never have them all together in one place because it takes forever. But it was fun driving the Cobra up there. I had my brother actually drive the other cars one at a time as he was in town, and he lives out in a very beautiful place, and you can see by the scenery here, just look at all the different colors. You have the black volcanic rock, you have the red rock, you have pink and purple and all kinds of mountain colors in the distance. So it's really a nice drive, and it's really pretty here. So it was a lot of fun just to take the Cobra for a drive, and like I said, some of the other cars were already up there where we were staging them, and so very beautiful. You have the American flag here too. Just a great Saturday morning drive. So just wanted to show you some of this footage as well of the nice scenery on the way up there. The Cobra is running great. It still has ice cold air conditioning, 43,000 miles on it, and you know, it matches this scenery perfectly. A bright yellow car, a bright morning, beautiful color, and so it's really just enjoying life to its fullest. This is why I love driving, you know, this car around on a Saturday morning, and not so much as my daily driver, but you know, it's something special for the weekends. Kind of weird to drive up to your own car. There's my Mach 1. So then we headed over to my brother's place where all the other cars were stashed, and we used the 98 Cobra as kind of our shuttle car to bring these cars over one by one. It was kind of fun to see them start to pile up one at a time and go back, and it took a little time getting them all down the road. It was really cool to look down at all the hoods one after another and see all the colors coming together. Now, since most of these cars are the same body style and about the same year, we were talking about how cool it was that this is what dealerships would have looked like back in 2003, 2004, and that area. So it was really cool to see them all lined up. And, you know, a lot of these cars are well taken care of. They're still good as new. Some of them, you know, still need a little bit of work. But for the most part, we just thought this is the coolest car show that we would ever want to see, because it's all the cars that interest us. And it's also kind of like a flashback. And so we're commonly asked, you know, when we got all these cars. And the thing is, it was kind of a one-by-one basis. The red Mach 1 that I own was the first of all of these ones to come along, depending on how you look at it, because we got that white GT back, which was the first out of all of these cars that we ever owned. But one by one, we just kind of bought them. It started with the Mach 1s, and then it turned into buying a few Cobras, and then back to Mach 1s again. And so the order that we bought them all was kind of off and on. It's kind of hard to say. We thought about lining them up that way, but we wanted to line them up as well by color, just to kind of give it a better aesthetic look. But it was a lot of fun to have them there. We went through and opened up all the hoods one by one, and sure enough, it looks like a car show. It looked like it was straight out of Mustang Week or some of the other car shows that you see. And the only thing is, it had taken us so long through the day to line them all up. We were considering getting everybody together, some of our other friends, but if we did that, then it would have taken all day to put the cars back, and it would have been midnight by the time we got all the cars back to where they belong. So we just kind of did it between the two of us and just kind of did some fun walkthroughs. And like I said, I have the other video, and I'll put its link in the description, just talking a little more about these cars. But it was really fun to look at all the different engine setups and just kind of stand around and talk, just the two of us, about where all these cars came from and what we still plan to do with them, and just what parts they all have. So it was really cool to do this and have them all together at once. It's probably not going to happen again, at least not for a while, since it takes so much effort to move them all around. And this was just moving them from about a mile up the road, so it was pretty close as far as getting them together. But anyway, this is a cool view of all the cars. The 98 Cobra is running really good with the cleaned MAF and the new ignition leads and plugs and everything like that. So right now it's really nice that all the cars are running properly how they should, and without driving them all every day, it kind of keeps them that way. So it's kind of nice in its own way too. But the red 98 here will need some paint at some point. Not sure what we'll do with that, or if we'll wrap it or anything like that. But it was really nice to have all the other ones, their paint's all in pretty good condition as well. And just fun to see all the tail lights. Of course, the Cobra has, my yellow Terminator has the amber tail lights in it. It was the only one there that did. And so it's kind of fun to have some slight differences between all the cars. Even though a lot of them are the same model, you have different colors and you have different options. And this is a fun little flip through that I made, just having all the cars change from one to the other, and you get to really see all the variety. And everyone jokes that we could probably drive a different one each day of the week and never really run out of cars to drive. And that's probably true, but a lot of them just stay in the garage and we keep them nice, and it's easier to keep a car clean and detailed that way rather than when you daily drive it. It does make it hard to keep up with cleaning it. But fun sight to see here with all the different colors, and there's even more colors than this that we might consider someday. And we get a lot of questions if we're ever going to consider a Rouge or a Saline or Cobra R, and that's kind of a hard decision for us. Whenever we get into spending some decent money on the cars, we usually keep leaning towards the Terminator. It's one of our favorites. But there are some other cars out there, and one that I was looking at the other day was a really cool bright tangerine orange 96 GT. Very rare car. They only made it the one color, and there was one in our neighborhood we liked growing up. So that's the premise, as you've seen in some of our other videos, of a reason for us to get it. We like to look back on the childhood and think about the cars that we really liked and the ones that meant something to us. And something that was fun that we're thinking about is look at all the different combination of wheels that we could put on different cars, and different modifications we could change around with all the different cars, because they are so similar. It also helps if you have any issues with one, you have a lot of parts to swap to try to diagnose the issue. But anyway, it was a lot of fun to get them all lined up and move them around, and we could have done this all day long. And this is a cool picture I took when I was looking at my brother. He had the reflection of them all in his glasses. And so this little car lot was a lot of fun to play with. So then came the part where it was time to put them all away, and so it was kind of fun getting to drive all these different cars and pick which ones we wanted to take back. And of course, I was driving a lot of my brother's cars as well, so it's kind of fun to see the differences between all of them and take them to his place and sweep out the garage. And I even had my wife come up afterwards, and she was helping shuttle us a little bit, and it was a lot of fun. Really nice day, good temperature, so it really wasn't too hot outside, and just enjoying the day as much as we could. And of course, it's got a lot on your plate trying to move all the cars around, but it was worth it in the end, and we had a great time. So after that, I actually had my mom, who was helping me drive the Mach 1 home, and she came, and she's awesome. She helped me shuttle the cars back. She's pretty much responsible for my madness. She's taken care of me throughout my whole life. She's taught me how to drive, and she is a fantastic pilot as well. My parents had a flight school growing up, And so they were always pulling engines on the airplanes. They ran the whole thing themselves. So my mom was doing all the scheduling and helping pull engines and do anything that she needed to do to help the whole thing function. But she's a great driver. She drives smoothly. She's a great pilot. She flies great. I learned to do some flying as well. Never really finished up with it too much. Kind of lost interest in it. But anyway, she's fantastic and helps me out all the time. And we had fun conversations driving around. And so it was really fun to spend some time with her as well. So soon it was time just to take the Cobra home, and it was a nice drive up. It's a nice drive back, and so just really enjoyed the scenery as well. Nice ice cold air conditioning, beautiful day. About 130 degree temp on the charge temperature. Not too bad for how hot it is today. Beautiful. And when it was all said and done, it was funny because my mom was driving the Mach 1, and she afterwards said, "It seems like it needs another gear. Like it was in 5th gear and it seemed like it needed another one." So I explained that it had 410 gears in it, so it was going to be a little higher RPM, but it was a lot of fun, and she was great driving it. So my wife was real patient with me, so we went to one of her favorite places, which is Olive Garden, and just had a great time, good meal afterwards, and so it was a really nice ending to a really nice, relaxing day. Anyway, so thanks for watching, and I'll just keep the content coming, so hopefully we'll get some more Mustang videos for you and some other things that you guys enjoy seeing. So as always, stay subscribed, and thanks again.